Well, I said last week that it was rather cold on the allotment. This week is actually colder. We have a very heavy frost, which is quite unusual for my area. And I heard on the radio that last night was one of the coldest nights on record. So it makes it a little bit difficult to do anything on the allotment. But I'm going to tackle one particular area again this week. Now, the area that I'm going to be concentrating on this week is just behind my greenhouses, an area that I guess you could say has been out of sight, out of mind, which is why it's been a little problematic. We've got brambles in here that need removing, as well as a whole host of other weeds, which I honestly don't think will take long. It's just a case if we can get it straight, we can then keep on top of it. And that's really what I'm going to focus on today. Now, this area is on the south of this allotment, the older half of the allotment. We used to have raspberries growing down here. We've done other fruit bushes in the past as well, but because of the weeds and out of sight, out of mind, they haven't really thrived. They've all died back. So this year, we're going to try and make the most of it. Now, what I think I'm going to have to do is just start at this end where there's less to do and just work my way down. So let's crack on and do this, shall we? Well, once again, I'm feeling rather pleased with myself. As you can see, we've cleared all the weeds and all the brambles from this area, and it's actually came along quite a bit better than what I had hoped it for. But as I am a little concerned that this area is going to quite quickly drop back into its old ways, I've had to think how I can make it easier for myself. So what I've done is, on the base, I've laid down this black weed suppressing membrane. Now, I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of black weed suppressing membrane. My neighbours put it on their plot a few years ago, and one day some really strong winds came along and lifted up all that weed suppressing membrane. It got caught in my gooseberry bushes, and to this day there's little tiny ribbons of this black plastic caught in there that I just am struggling to get rid of. However, I did have this black weed suppressing membrane in my shed. It seems a waste to just throw it in the bin, so I hate waste more than I hate this stuff. I figured I would use it. But to stop it from getting blown up, I have laid down these concrete drain pipes. Now, these concrete drain pipes came from my step-granddad's garden when he passed away. In the past, I've used them for growing potatoes, and I was thinking I might do the same again this year. Wasn't quite sure, but what I figured, we're going to leave these in place. We're going to fill them up with compost throughout the year, and this area is going to be our squash bed. So pumpkins, courgettes, butternut squash is going to be growing all down here. So we might as well plant those into these concrete blocks, and that should be then our squash bed. It also should need very minimal weeding throughout the year. As the evenings are getting lighter, we'll be able to come down here a bit more after work, and this is probably going to be one of the first areas I look at to try and keep on top of it. As I said, it's out of sight and out of mind, which isn't a good thing. But however, I feel like we've done it. Well, that is another area tidied up here on the allotment in January. I feel like January is really the month that I'm tackling these problem areas, and I'm pretty pleased with how we're going so far. I'll put it like that. But let me know what you've been doing in your own allotment or your own kitchen garden down in the comments down below. And of course, I will see you again in the next video. Till next time, please take care.